Hey everybody, and thanks for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. So the other day, I went out to check out the newest movie in theaters, Rocketman, directed by Dexter Fletcher and starring Taron Egerton. So I thought I'd jump on camera and just give my thoughts and opinions about it. If you'd like to give your thoughts and opinions about this movie, I welcome you to do so, and I'd love for you to do so. Just put all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below, and let's get a fun conversation going. And with all that out of the way, let's talk about the newest biopic out in theaters, Rocketman. So Rocketman tells the story of Elton John from his childhood to his rise to fame, and also the troubles and demons that he struggled with during that time of his life. So playing Elton John is Taron Egerton, and Taron Egerton I know from the Kingsman films. I haven't really seen him in anything else, and he really gives an Oscar-worthy performance in this movie. He gives a fantastic performance as Elton John, not only in the acting department, but the renditions of the songs that he does of Elton John's classics. Because Taron Egerton actually does all of his own singing in this movie, and he sounds great. He sounds really good. I'll also give a shout out to Kit Connor, who played the younger version of Elton John in the childhood sequences. He had a great resemblance to Taron Egerton, and he did a phenomenal job as young Elton John as well. And the way that they use the songs in this movie is very interesting because they incorporate them through musical numbers. This movie is a full-on musical film. Not only do they do songs through performances on stage and in the studio sessions, but they do full-on musical song and dance numbers where characters just break out into song and dance, and they use Elton John's songs for those musical scenes. And all of the musical sequences and dance numbers are really good. They're choreographed really well, and I found it to be a very unique biopic in that way because it's not just a straight through story of this guy's life. There's also a lot of fun and energy put in there with the musical numbers, and it just sets it aside from all the other biopics that I've seen because it's so different and unique. And I really like that creative decision and direction that the movie decided to go with how they incorporated the songs in this movie through those musical dance sequences. I thought it was really cool. And I also just thought the direction and style that was used for this movie was also really cool as well. Because this movie uses a lot of theater techniques in it. This movie could honestly be translated into a play in some parts very easily. They use a lot of techniques and elements that you use in live theaters and plays, and they use it in this movie. And I really like those parts of the story. And it's gave the film a really unique style and cool atmosphere to it. And going into this movie, I kind of expected this to be like this year's Bohemian Rhapsody. But it's not really like Bohemian Rhapsody. There's no big Live Aid moment in this movie. This is a very personal and deep look into Elton John's life. They go into his family life and the complications and dysfunction that's in that. They go into his sexuality. They go into his drug and alcohol abuse that came with the fame, as well as how his family life plays a role in the addictions that he develops throughout his rise to fame and fortune. And seeing how Elton John himself was an executive producer and that his company was involved, I have to assume that this movie is very accurate to how these events actually played out in Elton John's life, because the movie doesn't always display Elton John in a great light all of the time, and it makes him a really sympathetic character, and he's a very complex guy. You really see it through Taron Egerton's performance of Elton John, and it plays throughout the entire movie. As far as negatives on the movie go, I don't really have any negatives about the movie. The only things I can think of is it's a little formulaic. It's not a story that you haven't seen before. It's a very kind of typical rock star rising to fame story, just with Elton John in it. And it's Elton John's life, and it's based on his life, so that can't really be helped if that's actually how it went down. But it is, at times, it feels very familiar and paint by numbers. But it really does stand out from the rest with its style and the way that it incorporates the songs and has the musical numbers and the dance numbers and just the direction that it went in. And I will say that the movie, even though it's just about 2 hours long, it did feel a little over long to me. There was a time in the movie where I kind of felt like, okay, it's time to wrap things up, and they still had a little bit more to go. So I would say that the movie feels just a little bit long, but as far as the negatives go, that's kind of where it ends. I thought this movie was very good. I thought it told the story in a very unique and different kind of way. Not just with the musical numbers, but even just how the story was told, I thought was really cool. And I would say that Rocketman was a very enjoyable movie. I thought it was really cool, a lot of fun, and was a very interesting way to do a biopic like this that makes it stand out from all of the rest. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts and opinions on Rocketman, but what did you think about Rocketman? Comment down below, let me know. I want to know all your thoughts and opinions about this movie, and let's get a fun conversation going. And as always guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. Once again guys, my name's Zachary Milne. Thank you for talking movies with me, and hope you have yourself a great day.